Hi, I'm Tia Torres, and thank you for joining me here on my lycanthropy publishing platform. Tonight, I want to start reading you a story that I have been working on for many years. And it actually started off as only one book. And then the more I dove into it and added characters and twists and turns, I then decided it was more of a trilogy. So this is the first of the series. It's under the title of The Feral. And this particular beginning part of the trilogy is titled Hour of the Wolf. So, what does that mean exactly? The hour of the wolf is the hour between night and dawn, the hour when most people die, when sleep is deepest, when nightmares are most real. It is the hour when the sleepless are haunted by their deepest fears, when ghosts and demons are most powerful. So keep that in mind. It'll all make sense when I'm done with this first part. So let's get into it. And reading it out loud helps me actually decide if I'm going to make any changes. Maybe things I want to add. So this is a first for me, and I can't wait to get your opinion. So you'll see quite quickly that this story takes place in the 80s. It is based out of Ireland right now, with a lot of Scottish undertones. I tend to write, even though it's fantasy fiction, I tend to write where parts of the story relate to something real in my life and people that I know. So for those that know me really well, you're going to probably pick up on those little hidden gems. So, but even though it's based on fictional characters, there's still a little bit of reality to it. Okay, here we go. Halloween night, 1985, and Madonna's saucy voice echoed off the walls of the dance club, serenading the masquerade of wild Belfast partygoers, and in a sea of costumes, it was hard to tell who was completely sloshed or simply having a festive yet slightly sober time. But tonight, no one cared. There was no denying that drinking and partying were in the DNA of the Irish. Belfast, known for its lively nightlife, had an inherent connection to the art of revelry, and the Irish, famous for their ability to enjoy a good drink and celebrate in the company of friends, infused their heritage into every aspect of the evening. The pub became a sanctuary for those seeking an escape from the mundane, where the beats of the fingerless gloved goddess's music mingled with laughter, cheers, and the clinking of thick beveled mugs of ale pinged off the thick oak wooden walls. Festive disguises of all kinds could be seen on the dance floor. Witches twirled alongside vampires, by ghouls grooved with wannabe Playboy bunnies. The spirit of Halloween was alive and thriving, fueling the partygoers' excitement. Some masks hid mischievous grins, while others provided an opportunity for individuals to embody a different persona for the night. The dance floor became a kaleidoscope of swirling get-ups, where inhibitions melted away and the joy of Hallows Eve took center stage. Strangers danced with the strangest, laughter filled the air, and for one magical night, Belfast was transformed into a world where everyone could be anyone or thing they wanted to be. Magooed, an Irish term for being extremely schnockered, was a popular haunt for young and old alike. And nothing says like a virgin, such as a scantily clad Little Red Riding Hood, rolling atop the bar, giving a provocative performance while working under the guise of the lead bartender. With an air of confidence, Little Red began temptingly bumping and grinding, catching the attention of everyone present. As she moved with a taunting poise, she skillfully served ale and spirits to the eager patrons, her movements imbued with a seductive charm. It was a spectacle that blended fantasy and reality in a way that only this bartender could pull off. Maggie McKenna, 19 years old, with shoulder-length fiery hair and mint green eyes, was the picture-perfect poster girl for the Emerald Isle. And with her long red velvet cape and her way too short of a dress, she outdid herself on this night. Barely legal of drinking age, she spun herself around on the tip-filled bar, unfazed by her sex appeal, as her black patent leather knee-high boots barely missed hitting a customer's head. With each twist and turn, she weaved a tale of longing for danger and desire. And with the flip of her thick, wavy auburn locks and her cackle of a laugh, she drowned out Wham as George Michael let out his infamous wail, leaving Madonna's attempt at divine purity fading off into the background. The male customers lusted after her. The women loathed her. But tonight, Maggie held no inhibitions as she pranced around in her storybook getup and coaxed the men into howling like the big bad wolf before tossing a shot of whiskey down their throats. The patrons watched, enthralled by her performance, as the tale took on a new, tantalizing dimension. She teased them with lines from the children's story. Come on, Brody, show me what big. Stopping her words at the precise, taunting moment. Her sassiness brought out her Irish Scottish mix of an accent. Despite being born in Scotland, she had been raised in Ireland, which at times could cause a confusion in dialect. But she paused her words at the most opportune spot. She gyrated her hips back and forth, and then finished the infamous line from the fairy tale by putting her own suggestive spin on it. What big hands you have! They say big hands mean a big. That was a poor wink. And winking at her lovesick puppy of a patron, Maggie left the rest to his imagination. This in turn drummed up an explosion of laughter from the crowd. Show me what you got, and I'll make you howl like the big bad wolf. Maggie then grabbed Brody's hand and twirled herself around as if to engage him into a dance, only to leave the poor man hanging and begging for more. This was the way the young girl made her money. In the dimly lit ambience of the bustling tavern, a provocative aura surrounded the young enchantress, casting a spell upon the hearts of men who sought acceptance with who they envisioned her to be in their naughtiest of dreams. Maggie, the spellbinding mixologist, possessed an irresistible allure that beckoned the weary souls towards her. Behind the polished bar mistress, she mastered the art of flirtation and teased with effortless grace. Her radiant smile, tinged with mischief, danced upon her lips, leaving a trail of unspoken promises in its wake. The mere shimmer in her eyes held the hopes and dreams of those who long for a taste of her spirituous presence. Lonely and deprived souls, drowning in their unfulfilled desires, found solace in Maggie's playful charms. With every carefully crafted cocktail, she wove a delicate web of anticipation, leaving the patrons weak-kneed and yearning for a chance to be the one who would capture her attention. They clung to the possibility that this night, beneath the flickering lights and hazy cigarette smoke-filled atmosphere, might be their moment to bask in her enchantment. But alas, as the night drew to its bittersweet end, the curtain fell upon Maggie's mesmerizing performance. Disappointment and longing gripped the abandoned hearts that lingered on their bar stools, their hopes drained like an empty shot glass. It was a cruel reality they had unknowingly embraced, an evening choreographed by the minx of a bartender who had skillfully manipulated their desires for her own gain. Maggie, the embodiment of temptation, reveled in the power she possessed. Each encounter was but another conquest, another testament to her addicting personality. Her infectious presence left an indelible mark upon the memories of her male admirers, forever etching her as the unobtainable muse who danced just out of their reach. This was her theater, the stage upon which she played her seductive symphony, orchestrating the desires of those who dared to step into her world. Maggie McKenna, the sorceress of libations, weaved her bewitching spell, leaving a trail of broken hearts and shattered illusions at the end of each shift. But not all men who entered through the doors of the most popular party spot in the city received this kind of lascivious attention. There was one customer that made Maggie's heart genuinely flutter, palms sweat, and brought a coquettish smile to her face. From the second Maggie saw him, he had felt different to her, so unique, but in a way that she found mysteriously intriguing. And that scared her, yet she couldn't stop thinking about him. Stay tuned. Only Maggie has the answers.